The role of boundaries in time management. Boundaries help ensure that family time doesn't get sidelined by external commitments. They also allow individuals to maintain personal time for relaxation or hobbies without guilt. Chapter 52: Cultivating Gratitude to Enrich Family Life. Gratitude has transformative effects on family relationships. By recognizing and appreciating each other's contributions, families create a positive atmosphere that strengthens bonds. Practicing gratitude as a family. 1. Gratitude jars encourage family members to write down things they're thankful for and review them together periodically. 2. Daily gratitude rituals. Share one thing each person is grateful for during meals or bedtime. 3. Thank you notes. Write notes to family members expressing appreciation for their actions or support. How gratitude reinforces boundaries. 1. Acknowledging when someone respects your boundaries builds mutual respect. 2. Expressing gratitude for acts of kindness encourages continued cooperation. Chapter 53: Building Resilience Through Boundaries and Bonds. Resilience is the ability to adapt and thrive in the face of challenges. Strong family bonds and clear boundaries provide a foundation for building resilience within the family unit. How boundaries foster resilience. 1. Encourage self-reliance. Clear boundaries teach family members to take responsibility for their actions and emotions. 2. Promote emotional safety. Boundaries protect individuals from toxic behaviors, creating a secure environment for growth. How bonds build resilience. 1. Provide support systems. Close family ties offer emotional and practical support during tough times. 2. Model perseverance. Families that navigate challenges together inspire resilience in future generations. Strengthening resilience as a family. 1. Emphasize teamwork. Approach challenges as a family unit, pooling resources and skills. 2. Celebrate small wins. Recognize and reward progress, no matter how minor. 3. Reflect on past successes. Remind each other of previous obstacles you've overcome as a family. Final reflection: boundaries and bonds. As life's cornerstones, boundaries and bonds are not just tools for managing family relationships, they are the pillars of a fulfilling and harmonious life. As you continue to reflect on these concepts, remember that the effort you invest in creating respectful boundaries and nurturing strong bonds is a gift that will ripple outward, touching future generations. The journey of family life is complex, filled with triumphs, challenges, and opportunities for growth. By embracing this journey with empathy, intentionality, and love, you can create a family dynamic that thrives on mutual respect, deep connection, and lasting joy. Your family's story is an evolving masterpiece. Cherish each chapter, nurture each relationship, and never stop striving for balance and connection. Chapter 54: Teaching future generations the balance between boundaries and bonds. One of the greatest gifts you can give to future generations is the knowledge and practice of balancing boundaries and bonds. Instilling these principles early equips children and young adults with tools to navigate their relationships with confidence, respect, and love. Modeling healthy boundaries and bonds. 1. Be consistent. Children learn through observation. 1. Show consistency in how you set and respect boundaries with others. 2. Demonstrate empathy, display compassion, and understanding in your interactions, teaching that relationships thrive on mutual care. 3. Show vulnerability. Share age-appropriate stories of your own struggles with boundaries and bonds, emphasizing what you've learned. Practical ways to teach boundaries. 1. Use real-life examples. Highlight moments when boundaries need to be set, such as saying no to a commitment or explaining why personal space is important. 2. Role-playing scenarios. Practice saying no or negotiating boundaries with your children in playful but realistic situations. 3. Encourage communication. Teach children how to express their needs and feelings clearly, fostering respect for their own boundaries and those of others. Teaching the importance of bonds. 1. Celebrate togetherness. Create rituals that emphasize connection, such as family nights or shared hobbies. 2. Foster teamwork. Encourage collaborative tasks, like planning trips or completing household chores, to build cooperation and unity. 3. Promote inclusivity. Teach children to value differences within the family, strengthening bonds through mutual appreciation. Chapter 55. Navigating boundaries and bonds with in-laws and extended family. Relationships with in-laws and extended family can enrich your life, but may also challenge your boundaries and bonds. Striking the right balance ensures these relationships remain healthy and rewarding. Common challenges with in-laws and extended family. 1. Differing expectations. Conflicts may arise from contrasting traditions, values, or parenting styles. 2. Overstepping boundaries. Some relatives may offer unsolicited advice or intrude on private matters. 3. Unequal dynamics. Favoritism or exclusion can create tension among extended family members. Setting boundaries with extended family. 1. Communicate early. Set expectations and boundaries from the beginning of the relationship to avoid misunderstandings. 2. Use diplomacy. Address sensitive topics respectfully to maintain harmony. 2. Example: we appreciate your advice, but we'd like to make this decision as a couple. 3. Stand united. Involve your partner when establishing boundaries with in-laws to present a unified front. Strengthening bonds with extended family. 1. Build individual relationships. Take time to connect with in-laws or extended family members one-on-one. 2. Honor their traditions. Show respect for their customs and include them in family events. 3. Express gratitude. Regularly thank extended family members for their contributions or support. Chapter 56. Technology as a double-edged sword in boundaries and bonds. While technology has revolutionized communication, it also poses unique challenges to maintaining healthy boundaries and meaningful bonds in families. The impact of technology on family dynamics. 1. Strengthening bonds. Technology enables families to stay connected across distances through video calls, messages, and social media. 2. Eroding boundaries. Excessive screen time or constant connectivity can blur personal boundaries, reducing quality interactions. Setting digital boundaries in families. 1. Establish screen-free zones. Dedicate specific times or places, such as dinner tables, for face-to-face interaction. 2. Limit social media exposure. Set guidelines for what family members share online, ensuring privacy and respect. 3. Encourage balance. Model healthy technology use by limiting your own screen time and prioritizing offline activities. Using technology to build bonds. 1. Family group chats. Create a chat for sharing updates, photos, and celebrations. 2. Virtual gatherings. Use video calls for long-distance family game nights or celebrations. 3. Shared online experiences. Watch movies, play multiplayer games, or explore virtual tours together. Chapter 57. Boundaries and bonds in romantic relationships. Romantic relationships are an intricate dance of boundaries and bonds. Both partners must navigate the delicate balance between maintaining individuality and fostering intimacy. Establishing boundaries in romantic relationships. 1. Communicate needs early. Discuss boundaries at the start of the relationship to set a foundation for mutual respect. 2. Respect personal space. Encourage time apart for hobbies, friends, or self-care to maintain individuality. 3. Revisit boundaries regularly. As relationships grow and change, adjust boundaries to reflect new stages or challenges. Building bonds in romantic relationships. 1. Prioritize quality time. Plan regular date nights or shared activities to nurture connection. 2. Practice vulnerability. Share your fears, dreams, and struggles to deepen emotional intimacy. 3. Support growth. Encourage each other's goals and celebrate achievements together. Balancing boundaries and bonds in long-term partnerships. 1. Maintain open communication about expectations, frustrations, and desires. 2. Respect each other's need for independence while fostering shared goals and dreams. 3. Address conflicts constructively, using empathy and compromise to find solutions. Chapter 58. Handling generational gaps in families. Generational differences can create unique challenges in understanding boundaries and bonds. Bridging these gaps requires patience, open-mindedness, and mutual respect. Common sources of generational tension. 1. Communication styles. Older generations may prefer face-to-face conversations, while younger ones might lean on digital communication. 2. Cultural shifts. Differences in values, such as attitudes toward gender roles or technology, can cause misunderstandings. 3. Parenting approaches. Grandparents may have contrasting views on raising children compared to the current generation of parents. Strategies for bridging generational gaps. 1. Foster open dialogue. Create opportunities for different generations to share their perspectives and experiences. 2. Celebrate differences. Recognize that diverse viewpoints enrich family dynamics. 3. Educate and learn. Encourage younger members to teach older relatives about modern trends while learning from their wisdom. Chapter 59. Leaving a legacy of boundaries and bonds. Your family's legacy is not just about material wealth or accomplishments, it's about the values, practices, and lessons you pass down. A legacy rooted in boundaries and bonds ensures future generations inherit the tools for healthy relationships. Creating a legacy through boundaries. 1. Document your lessons. Write letters, journals, or books detailing the importance of setting and respecting boundaries. 2. Teach life skills. Equip younger generations with skills like conflict resolution, self-advocacy, and emotional regulation. 3. Lead by example. Demonstrate how to uphold boundaries with integrity and kindness. Building a legacy of bonds. 1. Establish traditions. Create rituals that future generations can continue, such as annual reunions or storytelling nights. 2. Share stories. Preserve family history through oral storytelling or digital archives. 3. Cultivate a spirit of unity. Emphasize the importance of staying connected, even as families grow and change. Final reflection. The everlasting dance of boundaries and bonds. Boundaries and bonds are not static, they are dynamic, evolving with every life stage, family member, and circumstance. They are the cornerstones of thriving relationships, offering both structure and connection. Chapter 60. Conflict as a catalyst for growth in families. Conflict is often seen as a negative force in families, but when managed constructively, it can serve as a powerful catalyst for growth. Disagreements, though uncomfortable, provide opportunities to address unspoken issues, strengthen communication, and deepen understanding. Reframing conflict in family dynamics. 1. Conflict as feedback. Consider disagreements as a form of feedback about unmet needs or crossed boundaries. 2. An opportunity to learn. Every conflict teaches something about each person's values, priorities, and emotional triggers. 3. A test of resilience. Successfully navigating conflict reinforces the family's ability to face future challenges together. Steps to use conflict for growth. 1. Identify the root cause. Go beyond the surface argument to uncover underlying emotions or needs. 2. Focus on solutions. Shift from blaming to brainstorming ways to address the issue collaboratively. 3. Encourage self-reflection. Use conflicts as moments to reflect on how personal actions or reactions contribute to the dynamic. How conflict strengthens bonds. 1. Builds trust. Resolving conflicts with respect and care demonstrates commitment to the relationship. 2. Enhances communication. Each disagreement provides practice in expressing feelings and listening actively. 3. Fosters empathy. Understanding others' perspectives during a dispute deepens emotional connection. Chapter 61. Navigating boundaries and bonds with chosen families. Chosen families, friends or communities that provide the support and connection traditionally associated with biological families, are increasingly significant in modern life. These relationships offer the same richness and complexity as traditional families, requiring intentional effort to balance boundaries and bonds. The importance of boundaries in chosen families. 1. Protecting individual needs. Members of chosen families may have diverse lifestyles and commitments that require clear communication about availability and expectations. 2. Preventing burnout. Avoid overcommitting yourself to chosen family obligations while balancing personal needs. 3. Maintaining mutual respect. Boundaries ensure that everyone's time, space, and emotions are valued. Building strong bonds in chosen families. 1. Celebrate milestones, honor birthdays, achievements, and other important events to strengthen connections. 2. Create rituals. Establish traditions unique to your chosen family, like weekly dinners or holiday get-togethers. 3. Be present in tough times. Offer emotional and practical support during challenges to reinforce trust and loyalty. Blending chosen and biological families. Navigating relationships between chosen and biological families requires diplomacy and balance. Openly communicate the importance of both relationships while ensuring that neither feels neglected or excluded. Chapter 62. Celebrating diversity within the family. Diversity within families, whether in culture, beliefs, personalities, or life experiences, adds depth and richness to family dynamics. Embracing these differences fosters inclusivity, respect, and growth. Why diversity matters in families. 1. Broadens perspectives. Diverse family members introduce new ways of thinking and problem solving. 2. Encourages tolerance. Learning to navigate differences within the family promotes acceptance in other relationships. 3. Strengthens identity. Celebrating diverse backgrounds and experiences creates a sense of pride and belonging. Strategies for embracing diversity. 1. Celebrate each member's uniqueness. Acknowledge and appreciate the individuality of every family member. 2. Share cultural practices. Explore traditions, cuisines, and stories from different backgrounds within the family. 3. Encourage open dialogue. Foster conversations about differing opinions or values in a respectful and curious manner. Turning differences into strengths. 1. Use diverse viewpoints to solve family challenges creatively. 2. Blend traditions to create unique rituals that honor everyone's identity. 3. Share experiences that expand the family's collective knowledge and empathy. Chapter 63. Managing emotional labor in families. Emotional labor, the invisible work of managing emotions, resolving conflicts, and maintaining harmony, is often unevenly distributed in families. Addressing and balancing emotional labor is key to maintaining healthy boundaries and bonds. Signs of uneven emotional labor. 1. One person consistently mediates conflicts or addresses others' emotional needs. 2. A family member feels drained by their role as the emotional caretaker. 3. Others rely heavily on one individual to maintain relationships or plan gatherings. Redistributing emotional labor. 1. Acknowledge the work. Recognize emotional labor as a valuable contribution to the family. 2. Share responsibilities, distribute tasks like organizing events or checking in on relatives more evenly. 3. Set boundaries, ensure that emotional caretakers have space for their own needs and well-being. How shared emotional labor strengthens bonds. 1. Promotes fairness and equity within the family dynamic. 2. Encourages empathy by sharing the responsibility of nurturing relationships. 3. Reduces resentment and fosters mutual appreciation for each person's efforts. Chapter 64, Adapting Boundaries and Bonds over the life cycle. As families evolve, so do the boundaries and bonds within them. Adapting to these changes ensures that relationships remain strong and relevant at every stage of life. Childhood and adolescence. 1. Boundaries teach children about personal space, privacy, and emotional expression. 2. Bonds build a foundation of trust and support through consistent presence and active listening. Adulthood. 1. Boundaries shift from parent-child dynamics to mutual respect and autonomy. 2. Bonds celebrate milestones and collaborate as equals, strengthening adult relationships. Elder years. 1. Boundaries respect older family members' independence while offering assistance as needed. 2. Bonds deepen connections through shared memories, traditions, and legacy-building activities. Chapter 65, Boundaries and Bonds as a lifelong practice. Balancing boundaries and bonds is not a one-time achievement but an ongoing practice. Each stage of life, every family challenge, and every new relationship offers an opportunity to revisit and refine this balance. Lessons learned through lifelong practice. 1. Flexibility is key. Boundaries and bonds must adapt to new circumstances and challenges. 2. Communication is essential. Open dialogue is the foundation of healthy family relationships. 3. Love is the guiding principle. Balancing boundaries and bonds is an act of love for yourself and your family. The ripple effect of healthy family dynamics. Families that successfully balance boundaries and bonds create a ripple effect that extends beyond the household, influencing communities, workplaces, and future generations. Final reflection, a legacy of balance and connection. The journey of navigating boundaries and bonds is a deeply personal and profoundly impactful one. As you continue to build relationships rooted in respect, empathy, and love, you're not just shaping your own family, you're creating a legacy that will inspire and uplift those around you. Remember, no family is perfect, and the balance will always shift with time. What matters most is the effort to grow, learn, and connect. Your dedication to fostering healthy boundaries and strong bonds will leave a lasting imprint on the hearts of your family and the generations that follow. You are the architect of your family story.
The Art of Balancing Boundaries and Strengthening Family Bonds. Introduction. Welcome to today's deep dive into the essential aspects of life that affect us all: boundaries and family bonds. In this comprehensive discussion, we're unraveling the complexities of these two interconnected themes. Whether you're a parent, sibling, child, or simply part of a chosen family, understanding boundaries and nurturing strong family bonds is essential for living a harmonious and fulfilling life. Why does this matter so much? Because boundaries and bonds are like the yin and yang of relationships. They create structure while fostering connection. Without boundaries, relationships may become strained or toxic, and without bonds, boundaries can feel cold or isolating. Striking the right balance is key. So buckle up as we embark on this journey, grab a cup of coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's explore how to navigate boundaries while building family bonds that stand the test of time. Chapter 1. Understanding Boundaries. What are boundaries? Boundaries are the invisible lines we draw around ourselves to define what is acceptable and unacceptable in our relationships. They help protect our emotional well-being, values, and personal space. Contrary to popular belief, boundaries aren't about shutting people out, they're about creating healthier ways of interacting and communicating. There are three main types of boundaries. 1. Physical boundaries. These define your personal space and physical needs. 2. Emotional boundaries. These involve protecting your feelings and ensuring mutual respect in emotional exchanges. 3. Mental boundaries. These guard your thoughts, beliefs, and autonomy in decision-making. Why are boundaries important in families? Families are often where boundaries are most tested and most essential. Because family relationships are deeply emotional and long-standing, it's easy for lines to blur. Without clear boundaries, family members may unintentionally overstep, leading to conflicts, resentment, or even long-term estrangement. Examples of common family boundary issues. 1. A parent wanting to control an adult child's decisions. 2. Siblings invading each other's privacy. 3. Relatives expecting constant availability without considering your needs. Boundaries provide a framework for respect and understanding, ensuring that everyone's needs are met while preserving the integrity of relationships. Chapter 2. Building family bonds. The power of connection. Family bonds are the glue that holds families together. They're formed through shared experiences, open communication, and mutual support. Strong family bonds can provide a sense of belonging, security, and love that serves as a foundation for personal growth and resilience. Core elements of family bonds. 1. Trust. Trust is the bedrock of any relationship. 1. In families, it's built through consistency, honesty, and reliability. 2. Quality time. Spending time together, whether through shared meals, traditions, or fun activities, strengthens emotional connections. 3. Support. Being there for one another during tough times fosters a sense of loyalty and care. 4. Communication. Open and honest communication helps resolve conflicts, express love, and deepen understanding. 5. Respect. Recognizing each family member's individuality and valuing their opinions strengthens the family dynamic. Chapter 3. Finding the balance between boundaries and bonds. The interplay of boundaries and bonds. While boundaries provide structure, family bonds bring warmth and connection. The challenge lies in ensuring that boundaries don't feel like barriers and that bonds don't lead to enmeshment or dependency. Striking the balance. 1. Boundaries without isolation. Set boundaries with love and kindness. 1. Explain why they're important and how they benefit everyone involved. 2. Bonds without overstepping. Foster closeness without compromising individuality. 2. Celebrate differences within the family. Example: a parent and teenager may clash over curfews. Setting a boundary for safety while listening to the teen's desire for independence can help strike a balance. Chapter 4. Practical strategies for setting boundaries. 1. Know your limits. Reflect on what you're comfortable with and where you need to draw the line. 2. Communicate clearly. Use "I" statements to express your needs without blaming others. 2. Example: I feel overwhelmed when I'm expected to answer calls during work hours. 3. Be consistent. Enforce boundaries consistently to avoid sending mixed signals. 4. Respect others' boundaries. Just as you expect respect, be mindful of others' limits. 5. Seek support. If boundaries are repeatedly ignored, consider seeking help from a therapist or mediator. Chapter 5. Strengthening family bonds through intentional actions. 1. Create rituals and traditions. Traditions provide a sense of identity and belonging. They can be as simple as Sunday dinners or as elaborate as holiday celebrations. 2. Practice active listening. When family members feel heard, they feel valued. Pay attention, avoid interrupting, and validate their feelings. 3. Show appreciation. Gratitude strengthens relationships. Regularly express appreciation for the little things family members do. 4. Embrace conflict resolution. Conflict is inevitable, but how you handle it makes all the difference. Approach conflicts with a problem-solving mindset rather than assigning blame. 5. Be present. In today's digital age, being physically present isn't enough. Put away distractions and focus on genuine, face-to-face interactions. Chapter 6. Overcoming challenges. Navigating difficult relationships. Not all family relationships are easy. Some may be strained due to past conflicts, misunderstandings, or differing values. Tips for healing and rebuilding bonds. 1. Acknowledge the past. Address unresolved issues with honesty and compassion. 2. Forgiveness. Letting go of grudges can pave the way for healing. 3. Boundaries for toxic relationships. In some cases, limited contact or even no contact may be necessary to protect your well-being. Dealing with generational differences. Generational gaps can lead to misunderstandings, especially in communication styles, cultural expectations, or values. Bridging these gaps requires patience, empathy, and a willingness to learn from each other. Chapter 7. The long-term impact of healthy boundaries and bonds. When families strike the right balance between boundaries and bonds, the benefits extend far beyond the immediate household. Benefits include: 1. Emotional well-being. A supportive family fosters resilience and mental health. 2. Conflict management skills. Learning to navigate family dynamics prepares individuals for healthier relationships outside the home. 3. Generational legacy. Positive family dynamics create a legacy of love, respect, and connection for future generations. Conclusion. Embracing the journey. Boundaries and family bonds aren't static, they evolve as families grow and change. The key is to remain intentional and adaptable, ensuring that both are nurtured in harmony. As you move forward, remember that it's okay to make mistakes. Building strong family relationships is a journey, not a destination. Every effort you make to set boundaries and strengthen bonds contributes to a more loving, respectful, and connected family life. Chapter 8. Boundaries and bonds across different family roles. The way boundaries and bonds manifest can differ depending on the roles within the family. Let's explore how they play out between parents, children, siblings, and extended family. 1. Parents and children. The parent-child relationship is one of the most significant dynamics in a family. It evolves over time, requiring shifts in boundaries and bonds as children grow. When children are young. 1. Boundaries. Establishing routines, rules, and expectations helps children feel safe and understand limits. 2. Bonds. Showing unconditional love through nurturing, play, and quality time fosters a secure attachment. During adolescence. 1. Boundaries. Adolescents need more autonomy, so boundaries should focus on guiding rather than controlling. 1. For example, instead of dictating choices, parents can offer advice and let teens make certain decisions. 2. Bonds. Staying emotionally available is crucial as teens face challenges. 2. Active listening and non-judgmental support help maintain trust. In adulthood. 1. Boundaries. Adult children may need space to establish their independence. 1. This might mean parents stepping back from decision-making or respecting their child's choices. 2. Bonds. The bond transitions to one of mutual respect and friendship, where parents and adult children support one another. 2. Sibling relationships. Siblings share a unique bond formed through shared experiences. However, sibling dynamics can sometimes be strained by competition, jealousy, or misunderstandings. Healthy boundaries. 1. Avoid comparing achievements or pitting siblings against each other. 2. Respect each other's privacy and individuality. Strengthening bonds. 1. Create shared memories through family trips, celebrations, or even casual hangouts. 2. Be a source of support during challenging times, reinforcing that siblings are allies, not competitors. 3. Extended family grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins also contribute to the family dynamic. Their involvement can enrich relationships but may also require clear boundaries. Examples of boundaries with extended family. 1. Limiting unsolicited advice on parenting. 2. Setting expectations around holiday visits or other obligations. Building bonds with extended family. 1. Celebrate milestones together, such as birthdays, graduations, or anniversaries. 2. Encourage children to develop relationships with extended family members, fostering a sense of community and belonging. Chapter 9. Cultural influences on boundaries and bonds. The role of culture. Cultural values significantly shape how families view boundaries and bonds. In some cultures, family bonds are emphasized over individual boundaries, while others prioritize independence and personal space. Collectivist cultures. 1. Family bonds are often seen as paramount. 1. Decisions are made with the family's well-being in mind, and there may be less emphasis on personal boundaries. 2. Challenge. Balancing familial obligations with individual needs can be difficult. Individualist cultures. 1. There's a stronger emphasis on personal autonomy and boundaries. 1. Family bonds may take a backseat to individual goals. 2. Challenge. Ensuring that independence doesn't lead to disconnection or isolation. Bridging cultural differences. Families with members from diverse cultural backgrounds may need to navigate differing expectations. Open communication and mutual respect are essential for finding common ground. Chapter 10. The emotional weight of boundaries and bonds. Boundaries and bonds often bring up deep emotions, guilt, fear, love, and hope. Understanding and addressing these emotions is vital for maintaining healthy family relationships. Guilt around boundaries. Setting boundaries, especially with family, can feel uncomfortable. Many people worry about being seen as selfish or unkind. How to cope with guilt. 1. Remind yourself that boundaries are a form of self-care and care for the relationship. 2. Focus on the long-term benefits of boundaries for both you and your family. Fear of losing bonds. Some people avoid setting boundaries because they fear it will weaken family bonds. However, boundaries, when communicated respectfully, often strengthen relationships by fostering mutual respect. Reframe your thinking. 1. View boundaries as tools for preserving relationships, not breaking them. 2. Remember that healthy relationships can withstand honest conversations. Chapter 11. Technology and modern family dynamics. Technology has revolutionized how families connect, but it has also introduced new challenges. Maintaining bonds in a digital age. 1. Use technology to stay connected with distant family members through video calls, group chats, or shared photos. 2. Schedule tech-free time during family gatherings to encourage face-to-face interactions. Setting boundaries around technology. 1. Establish rules around screen time, especially during meals or family activities. 2. Respect privacy when sharing family photos or information online. Chapter 12. Lifelong growth and adaptation. Evolving boundaries. Family relationships change over time, and so should boundaries. For example, 1. A parent who once managed their child's daily life might need to shift to a more advisory role as the child grows up. 2. Siblings who were close as children may need to redefine their relationship if they drift apart in adulthood. Nurturing bonds over a lifetime. Strong family bonds require ongoing effort. Life's challenges, such as illness, financial struggles, or loss, can test family relationships, but they can also bring families closer together when approached with compassion and unity. Chapter 13. Real-life stories of boundaries and bonds. Hearing about others' experiences can provide valuable insights. Here are a few scenarios. Scenario 1. The overbearing parent. A young adult struggled with a parent who frequently overstepped by questioning their career choices. By calmly explaining their need for autonomy and setting boundaries around these conversations, they were able to improve their relationship while maintaining their independence. Scenario 2. Sibling rivalry turned friendship. Two sisters who constantly argued during childhood grew closer as adults by finding shared interests and learning to respect each other's differences. Scenario 3. Navigating cultural expectations. An immigrant family balanced their traditional values with their children's desire for independence by having open discussions and creating new family traditions that honored both perspectives. Chapter 14. Tools and resources for families. Building healthy boundaries and bonds often requires practical tools and resources. Books to explore. 1. Boundaries. When to say yes, How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. 2. The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman for strengthening bonds. Therapeutic support. 1. Family counseling can help address unresolved conflicts and improve communication. 2. Individual therapy can assist in setting boundaries and managing emotions. Final chapter. Your journey starts here. Creating healthy boundaries and nurturing family bonds is a continuous process. It requires patience, communication, and a willingness to grow together. As you move forward, remember: 1. Boundaries empower relationships, not destroy them. 2. Bonds provide the strength to face life's challenges together. 3. Both are essential for a harmonious and fulfilling family life. Take this as your starting point. Reflect on your own family dynamics, and start making small but meaningful changes. With intentional effort, you can build a family foundation rooted in love, respect, and mutual understanding. Chapter 15. Breaking the cycle of unhealthy patterns. For many families, unhealthy patterns such as poor communication, lack of respect for boundaries, or generational trauma can create barriers to healthy relationships. Breaking these cycles requires awareness, effort, and persistence. Recognizing unhealthy patterns. The first step is identifying behaviors that may be causing harm or tension. These could include: 1. Codependency, a dynamic where one person overly relies on another for emotional or physical needs. 2. Passive aggression, avoiding direct communication and expressing negative feelings indirectly. 3. Conflict avoidance, suppressing disagreements instead of addressing them, leading to unresolved issues. 4. Generational trauma, patterns of behavior stemming from past family experiences, such as overly strict parenting or fear of vulnerability. How to break the cycle. 1. Self-awareness. Reflect on your own behaviors and how they contribute to family dynamics. 1. Journaling or therapy can help. 2. Education. Learn about healthy communication and relationship strategies through books, workshops, or counseling. 3. Open communication. Have honest conversations with family members about patterns you've noticed and how they affect you. 4. Set an example. Model the behaviors you'd like to see, such as respecting boundaries, expressing gratitude, or resolving conflicts constructively. 5. Seek support. Breaking long-standing patterns is challenging. 5. Professional help can provide tools and strategies to create lasting change. Chapter 16. The role of forgiveness in boundaries and bonds. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing and strengthening family relationships. While it doesn't erase past hurts, it allows individuals to move forward without the weight of resentment. Misconceptions about forgiveness. 1. Forgiveness is not condoning bad behavior. 1. It's about letting go of the emotional burden. 2. Forgiveness doesn't require reconciliation. 2. You can forgive someone while maintaining boundaries or limiting contact. 3. Forgiveness is not weakness. 3. It takes strength and courage to forgive, especially in the face of deep pain. The process of forgiveness. 1. Acknowledge the hurt. Validate your feelings and recognize the impact of the other person's actions. 2. Understand their perspective. This doesn't mean excusing their behavior but trying to see the situation through their eyes. 3. Set boundaries. Forgiving someone doesn't mean allowing them to hurt you again. 3. Establish clear boundaries to protect yourself. 4. Release resentment. This might involve writing a letter you don't send, meditating, or working with a therapist. Forgiving yourself. Sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. If you've made mistakes in family relationships, remember that everyone is human and capable of growth. Use your experiences to guide better choices in the future. Chapter 17. Navigating life transitions. As a family, major life changes, such as births, deaths, marriages, or relocations, can significantly impact family dynamics. These transitions often require adjustments in both boundaries and bonds. 1. Welcoming a new family member. Whether through marriage, birth, or adoption, adding a family member reshapes the existing dynamic. Adjusting boundaries. 1. For new parents, balance your role as caregivers with maintaining boundaries around your personal time. 2. For in-laws, respect the couple's autonomy while building a bond with the new family member. Strengthening bonds. 1. Celebrate milestones together, such as baby showers or weddings, to create a sense of unity. 2. Encourage open communication to ease the integration process. 2. Coping with loss. The death of a family member is a profound experience that can either bring families closer or create tension. Setting boundaries. 1. Allow space for individual grieving processes, as everyone copes differently. 2. Avoid pressuring family members to grieve in a specific way or time frame. Reinforcing bonds. 1. Share memories and celebrate the life of the loved one together. 2. Support each other through practical help, such as organizing memorials or handling responsibilities. 3. Navigating family disputes over major decisions. Big decisions, such as caring for an aging parent or dividing an estate, can strain family relationships. Strategies for navigating conflict. 1. Hold family meetings to ensure everyone has a voice. 2. Use a neutral mediator if emotions run high. 3. Focus on solutions that prioritize fairness and respect.
Chapter 36. The power of apologies in strengthening family bonds. Apologies are a cornerstone of healthy relationships. A sincere apology can mend fractures in family relationships, rebuild trust, and reinforce respect for boundaries. When to apologize in family dynamics. Apologizing isn't about being wrong or right. It's about acknowledging the impact of your actions on someone else's feelings or boundaries. Situations that may warrant an apology include: 1. Overstepping someone's boundary unintentionally. 2. Reacting poorly during a disagreement. 3. Failing to show up for a family member during a crucial moment. The anatomy of a genuine apology. 1. Acknowledge the mistake. Clearly state what you did and take responsibility. 1. Example: I'm sorry I interrupted you during our conversation. 2. Express regret. Show that you understand how your actions affected the other person. 2. Example: I realize that made you feel unheard, and I regret that. 3. Commit to change. Share how you'll avoid repeating the mistake. 3. Example: I'll be more mindful of giving you space to express yourself in the future. 4. Avoid defensiveness. Resist the urge to justify or deflect blame. 4. Acknowledge the other person's perspective without making excuses. Teaching apologies to younger generations. Children learn the value of apologizing by observing the adults in their lives. Lead by example by apologizing to your children when appropriate, and teach them to express regret genuinely when they've hurt someone. Chapter 37. Setting boundaries in holidays and family gatherings. Holidays and family gatherings often bring joy, but they can also amplify tensions if boundaries are unclear. Common holiday boundary issues. 1. Overcommitment to multiple gatherings, leading to stress. 2. Relatives offering unsolicited advice or criticism. 3. Unequal sharing of responsibilities, such as cooking or hosting. Strategies for navigating holiday boundaries. 1. Plan ahead. Communicate your availability and commitments early to avoid last-minute conflicts. 2. Share responsibilities. Delegate tasks to ensure no one feels overburdened. 3. Create escape plans. Build in moments for personal time during long gatherings to recharge. 4. Set clear expectations. Politely address sensitive topics that are off-limits. 4. Example. I prefer not to discuss politics at the dinner table. Reinforcing bonds during holidays. 1. Focus on shared traditions that everyone enjoys, such as decorating, cooking, or playing games. 2. Incorporate new traditions to include the preferences and interests of younger or newer family members. Chapter 38. Healing estranged family relationships. Estrangement is one of the most difficult challenges families can face. Healing these relationships requires time, patience, and effort from both parties. Understanding the causes of estrangement. 1. Unresolved conflicts. Long-standing disagreements that were never addressed. 2. Hurtful behavior. Actions or words that caused deep emotional pain. 3. Differing values. Incompatibilities in beliefs, lifestyles, or priorities. Steps to rebuild estranged relationships. 1. Reflect on your role. Honestly evaluate your own actions and contributions to the estrangement. 2. Reach out gently. Start with a non-confrontational message, such as a letter or email, expressing a desire to reconnect. 3. Seek mediation. In cases of severe estrangement, involve a neutral third party, such as a therapist or mediator. 4. Be patient. Healing takes time, and progress may be slow. 4. Respect the other person's boundaries and timeline. When to accept and move on. Not all estranged relationships can or should be repaired. If efforts to reconnect are consistently met with hostility or indifference, it may be healthier to let go and focus on nurturing other bonds. Chapter 39. Boundaries and bonds in blended families. Blended families, where parents and children from previous relationships come together, often face unique challenges in navigating boundaries and building bonds. Establishing boundaries in blended families. 1. Respect pre-existing relationships. Acknowledge and support children's bonds with their biological parents. 2. Set realistic expectations. Relationships in blended families take time to develop. 2. Avoid forcing connections too quickly. 3. Define roles clearly. Ensure that stepparents, biological parents, and children understand their roles and responsibilities in the family dynamic. Strategies for building bonds in blended families. 1. Create new traditions. Develop rituals or routines that are unique to your blended family. 2. Encourage one-on-one time. Foster individual relationships between family members to build trust and connection. 3. Be fair. Avoid showing favoritism and strive for equal treatment of all children. Chapter 40. The role of gratitude in family relationships. Gratitude is a powerful force that can transform family dynamics by reinforcing positive behaviors and deepening connections. Cultivating a culture of gratitude in families. 1. Express appreciation regularly. Acknowledge both small and significant contributions from family members. 1. Example. Thank you for helping with dinner. It means a lot to me. 2. Teach gratitude to children. Encourage them to write thank you notes, share what they're grateful for, or acknowledge acts of kindness. 3. Create gratitude rituals. Start a family tradition, like sharing highlights of the day during meals or keeping a collective gratitude journal. How gratitude strengthens bonds. 1. Gratitude fosters mutual respect by highlighting the value of each family member's contributions. 2. It creates a positive feedback loop, encouraging more acts of kindness and cooperation. Chapter 41. The role of boundaries and bonds in forging a family legacy. Every family leaves behind a legacy, whether through traditions, values, or the lessons passed on to future generations. Defining your family's legacy. 1. Core values. Identify principles that reflect your family's beliefs, such as kindness, resilience, or generosity. 2. Traditions. Preserve rituals that celebrate your family's uniqueness, such as holiday customs, storytelling, or reunions. 3. Community impact. Consider ways your family can leave a positive mark on your community, such as through volunteering or charitable work. Passing down legacy. 1. Share family stories and history with younger generations to instill pride and identity. 2. Model behaviors that reflect your family's values, such as kindness, responsibility, or perseverance. 3. Document your family's journey through photo albums, letters, or videos to preserve memories for the future. Chapter 42. Embracing the future of boundaries and bonds. As society evolves, so do family dynamics. Technological advancements, changing cultural norms, and shifting expectations require families to adapt while maintaining a foundation of love and respect. Embracing change while honoring tradition. 1. Be open to new ways of connecting, such as using apps or virtual reality for long-distance family interactions. 2. Respect generational differences while finding common ground to maintain harmony. The ongoing journey of growth. Boundaries and bonds are not static, they grow and evolve with time. Embrace the journey, knowing that every effort you make contributes to a stronger, healthier family dynamic. Chapter 43. The role of empathy in balancing boundaries and bonds. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It is a critical skill for maintaining healthy boundaries and strengthening family bonds. Empathy helps family members connect on a deeper level, resolve conflicts with compassion, and create a supportive environment where everyone feels valued. How empathy enhances boundaries. 1. Prevents overstepping. Empathy allows you to recognize when someone feels uncomfortable or overwhelmed, helping you respect their boundaries. 2. Facilitates clear communication. When expressing your own needs, empathy helps you consider how to frame your message in a way that others can understand without feeling criticized. 3. Builds mutual respect. Acknowledging and validating another person's feelings fosters a culture of respect, which naturally reinforces boundaries. How empathy strengthens bonds. 1. Deepens understanding. When you truly listen and try to understand your family members' emotions, it strengthens your connection. 2. Encourages vulnerability. Empathy creates a safe space for family members to share their struggles and joys without fear of judgment. 3. Promotes cooperative problem solving. During disagreements, empathy shifts the focus from winning to finding solutions that work for everyone. Ways to cultivate empathy in family life. 1. Active listening. Pay attention, ask clarifying questions, and avoid interrupting when someone speaks. 2. Perspective taking. Imagine yourself in the other person's position to better understand their feelings. 3. Express validation. Let family members know their emotions are valid, even if you don't agree with their perspective. 4. Practice gratitude. Recognizing the positive contributions of others fosters empathy and appreciation. Chapter 44. The impact of forging identity through family bonds. Family plays a pivotal role in shaping an individual's sense of identity. Understanding how family dynamics contribute to self-identity can help balance individuality with connection. How family shapes identity. 1. Cultural heritage. Family traditions, languages, and values create a sense of belonging and pride in one's cultural identity. 2. Roles and responsibilities. Within families, individuals often adopt roles, e.g., caretaker, peacekeeper, or achiever, that influence how they see themselves. 3. Shared experiences. Family memories and milestones contribute to an individual's narrative and sense of self. Balancing individuality and belonging. 1. Encourage exploration. Support family members as they pursue hobbies, interests, or career paths that align with their personal goals. 2. Respect differences. Celebrate the unique qualities of each family member rather than expecting conformity. 3. Create opportunities for autonomy. Provide space for personal growth while maintaining a foundation of support. Building bonds through shared identity. 1. Honor traditions. Reinforce cultural or family traditions that provide a sense of continuity and identity. 2. Collaborative storytelling. Share stories from different family members' perspectives to weave a rich, collective history. 3. Celebrate diversity. Acknowledge and appreciate how individual identities contribute to the family's overall dynamic. Chapter 45. Boundaries and bonds during life transitions. Major life transitions, such as marriage, becoming parents, retirement, or moving homes, require adjustments in boundaries and bonds to maintain healthy relationships. Marriage and partnering. 1. Boundaries. Establish new boundaries as a couple, especially regarding time spent with extended family or friends. 2. Bonds. Blend traditions and create rituals unique to your partnership to strengthen your connection. Parenthood. 1. Boundaries. Set boundaries around parenting roles, such as division of labor and involvement of extended family in child-rearing decisions. 2. Bonds. Create intentional moments of connection, even amidst the chaos of raising children, to maintain closeness as a family unit. Empty nesting. 1. Boundaries. Respect adult children's independence while maintaining a supportive presence. 2. Bonds. Rediscover shared interests with your partner or invest in new hobbies that bring family members together in fresh ways. Aging and elder care. 1. Boundaries. Define caregiving responsibilities clearly to avoid misunderstandings or burnout. 2. Bonds. Use this stage to share stories, pass down wisdom, and build lasting memories. Chapter 46. Boundaries and bonds in non-traditional families. Non-traditional families, such as single-parent households, LGBTQ+ families, and chosen families, often redefine what boundaries and bonds mean in the context of their unique structures. Respecting boundaries in non-traditional families. 1. Break free from stereotypes. Avoid imposing traditional family roles or expectations on non-traditional structures. 2. Communicate clearly. Clearly define roles and responsibilities, as assumptions based on traditional norms may not apply. 3. Validate choices. Support non-traditional families by affirming their decisions and respecting their boundaries. Strengthening bonds in non-traditional families. 1. Create intentional community. Foster relationships with friends or extended family who provide emotional support and connection. 2. Celebrate milestones differently. Develop new traditions that reflect the unique dynamics of the family. 3. Foster inclusivity. Encourage open discussions about individuality and identity to ensure everyone feels valued. Chapter 47. The lifelong impact of healthy boundaries and bonds. The lessons learned from healthy boundaries and strong bonds don't just shape the present, they leave a legacy that influences generations to come. Benefits of healthy boundaries and bonds over time. 1. Emotional resilience. Families with strong bonds and clear boundaries weather challenges with greater strength and unity. 2. Conflict resolution skills. Healthy families model constructive ways to handle disagreements, equipping future generations with these skills. 3. Lasting connections. Relationships rooted in respect and love continue to thrive across distance and time, creating a legacy of love and respect. 1. Document family values. Write down or record your family's guiding principles to preserve them for future generations. 2. Teach through example. Demonstrate the importance of boundaries and bonds through your actions, creating a ripple effect. 3. Plan for the future. Consider how your family's dynamic will evolve and adapt to ensure its continuity. Final reflection. Your family is a living masterpiece. Families are living, breathing entities, dynamic, imperfect, and full of potential. The balance between boundaries and bonds isn't a goal you achieve once but an ongoing journey that deepens and evolves over time. Every effort you make to respect others' boundaries, express empathy, and nurture connections contributes to a family culture of love, growth, and resilience. Take these ideas as inspiration to reflect on your own family relationships. What boundaries need strengthening? Which bonds could use more attention? By actively engaging in this process, you're crafting a masterpiece of connection that will enrich not only your life but also the lives of everyone in your family, today and for generations to come. Chapter 48. Family rituals as pillars of boundaries and bonds. Rituals play a pivotal role in fostering connection, establishing stability, and reinforcing boundaries within families. They act as shared touchpoints, creating a sense of belonging while providing structure to relationships. The role of rituals in family life. 1. Creating consistency. Rituals provide predictability, especially during times of change or stress. 2. Building identity. Unique family traditions contribute to a shared sense of purpose and belonging. 3. Strengthening bonds. Shared experiences during rituals foster emotional closeness and mutual understanding. Types of family rituals. 1. Daily rituals. Simple routines like eating dinner together, bedtime stories, or morning check-ins. 2. Seasonal rituals. Celebrating holidays, birthdays, or family reunions in meaningful ways. 3. Life cycle rituals. Honoring milestones such as graduations, weddings, or retirements. 4. Cultural and religious rituals. Observing traditions that reflect a family's heritage or spiritual beliefs. Incorporating boundaries into rituals. 1. Use rituals to establish healthy limits, such as a tech-free family dinner policy or a dedicated, me-time, hour for each member. 2. Rotate responsibilities within rituals to ensure that no one feels overburdened. Evolving rituals over time. As families grow and change, rituals may need to adapt to new circumstances. Stay flexible and involve all members in shaping rituals that continue to feel relevant and meaningful. Chapter 49. Emotional boundaries and emotional availability. Maintaining emotional boundaries while staying emotionally available might seem contradictory, but it is essential for fostering healthy relationships. Emotional boundaries protect individual well-being, while emotional availability ensures a supportive and nurturing family environment. Signs of healthy emotional boundaries. 1. Knowing your limits. Recognizing when you need space to process your emotions without guilt. 2. Avoiding overinvestment. Supporting others without taking on their emotional burdens as your own. 3. Practicing self-awareness. Being aware of your triggers and emotions to avoid projecting them onto others. Balancing emotional boundaries with availability. 1. Be present. Offer your full attention during conversations without becoming consumed by the other person's emotions. 2. Use I statements. Express your feelings without blaming others, fostering open communication. 3. Encourage self-reliance. Support family members in solving their problems while avoiding micromanagement. Teaching emotional boundaries to children. 1. Model emotional regulation. Demonstrate how to manage emotions constructively. 2. Validate feelings. Teach children that it's okay to express emotions but also to respect others' feelings and boundaries. 3. Establish privacy. Create safe spaces for individual reflection, like quiet time or personal journals. Chapter 50. The role of humor in strengthening family connections. Laughter is a universal language that can diffuse tension, foster connection, and make family relationships more enjoyable. Humor is especially effective in maintaining bonds and navigating challenging situations. Why humor matters in families. 1. Breaks down barriers. Laughter helps family members feel more comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings. 2. Reduces stress. A shared laugh can lighten the mood during difficult times. 3. Creates memories. Funny moments often become cherished family stories that are retold for years. Incorporating humor into family life. 1. Tell stories. Share funny memories or anecdotes to create a shared sense of joy. 2. Play games. Games like charades, trivia, or card games encourage laughter and bonding. 3. Embrace playfulness. Engage in lighthearted teasing or inside jokes to build rapport. When humor crosses boundaries, be mindful of humor that may unintentionally hurt someone's feelings. Ensure that jokes are inclusive and never at the expense of another's emotions or dignity. Chapter 51. The challenges of balancing time and attention in families in today's fast-paced world. Finding time for meaningful family connections can be challenging. Balancing individual schedules while maintaining a sense of togetherness requires intentional effort. Common time-related challenges. 1. Competing priorities. Work, school, and extracurricular activities can overshadow family time. 2. Digital distractions. Technology can dominate attention, making it harder to engage with family members. 3. Unequal distribution of time. Some family members may feel neglected if others are too focused on their own interests. Strategies for balancing time. 1. Prioritize quality over quantity. Focus on making the time you spend together meaningful, even if it's limited. 2. Set boundaries around work and technology. Create unplugged zones or times to ensure distraction-free family interactions. 3. Schedule family time. Treat family dinners, game nights, or outings as non-negotiable appointments. 4. Involve everyone. Plan activities that appeal to all members to ensure active participation.
Chapter 18. Teaching the next generation about boundaries and bonds. Parents and caregivers play a crucial role in teaching children how to set boundaries and build strong relationships. These lessons form the foundation for how they interact with others throughout their lives. 1. Modeling healthy behaviors. Children learn by observing. Demonstrate respect for others' boundaries and prioritize open communication in your relationships. 2. Encouraging emotional intelligence. Help children understand and express their feelings by 1. Naming emotions. It sounds like you're feeling frustrated because your toy broke. 2. Teaching empathy. How do you think your sister felt when you took her book? 3. Setting boundaries for children. 1. Examples. Enforce bedtime routines, teach respect for others' privacy, and limit screen time. 2. Explain why boundaries exist. We have a bedtime so you can feel rested and ready for school tomorrow. 4. Building bonds through positive reinforcement. 1. Celebrate achievements and effort to foster confidence and self-worth. 2. Spend one-on-one time with each child to strengthen individual connections. Chapter 19. Redefining family in modern society. The concept of family has evolved, encompassing not just biological relatives but also chosen families, blended families, and non-traditional structures. Chosen families for those estranged from their biological family or who don't fit traditional molds. Chosen families offer love and support. Creating bonds in chosen families. 1. Be intentional about nurturing relationships through regular communication and shared experiences. 2. Respect each member's boundaries to create a healthy dynamic. Blended families. When two families come together, there can be challenges in merging traditions, parenting styles, and expectations. Tips for success. 1. Establish clear roles and boundaries for stepparents and stepchildren. 2. Focus on building trust over time rather than forcing instant connections. Chapter 20. Celebrating milestones and creating legacies. Strong families celebrate each other's achievements and honor their shared history. These moments strengthen bonds and create lasting memories. 1. Celebrating achievements. Recognize milestones big and small, from graduations to personal growth moments. Celebrations show appreciation and reinforce the value of family support. 2. Documenting your family's story. 1. Create photo albums, scrapbooks, or video diaries to preserve memories. 2. Share stories from older generations to pass on values and history. 3. Leaving a legacy. Think about the legacy you want to leave for future generations. This might include traditions, lessons, or material contributions. Example: establishing a family scholarship fund or starting a tradition of annual reunions. Conclusion: a never-ending journey. Boundaries and family bonds are not one-time achievements, they're ongoing practices that require reflection, adjustment, and commitment. By prioritizing both, you create a family dynamic that is not only resilient but also deeply fulfilling. Remember, perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Every small step you take to set boundaries and build bonds contributes to a more harmonious and loving family life. Chapter 21. The role of love languages in boundaries and bonds. Understanding how family members give and receive love can significantly improve relationships. Dr. Gary Chapman's concept of the 5 love languages, words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch, offers a framework for enhancing both boundaries and bonds. Identifying love languages in family members. Take time to observe how your family members express affection and what actions make them feel appreciated. You can also directly ask them about their preferences. Examples: 1. A parent who thrives on acts of service might feel most loved when their child helps with household chores. 2. A sibling whose love language is quality time would value regular catch-ups or shared activities. Using love languages to respect boundaries. Understanding love languages can also guide how you respect others' boundaries. For example, 1. If someone values quality time but needs personal space, respect their need for alone time without taking it personally. 2. If words of affirmation are important to someone, provide encouragement and reassurance when discussing sensitive topics. Strengthening bonds through love languages. When family members feel loved in ways that resonate with them, bonds naturally grow stronger. Make an effort to express love in their preferred language, even if it's different from your own. Chapter 22. Boundaries and bonds in multi-generational households. With the rising prevalence of multi-generational households, families face unique challenges and opportunities in maintaining healthy dynamics. Challenges in multi-generational living. 1. Space and privacy. Limited space can make it difficult to maintain personal boundaries. 2. Generational differences. Conflicting values or habits may cause friction. 3. Role confusion. Overlapping responsibilities, such as caregiving or decision-making, can lead to power struggles. Strategies for success. 1. Set clear expectations. Define roles and responsibilities for each family member. 1. For example, decide who handles childcare, finances, or household chores. 2. Respect individual needs. Create designated spaces or times for privacy. 2. Even small actions, like knocking before entering a room, can make a difference. 3. Foster intergenerational bonds. Encourage shared activities, like storytelling or cooking, to strengthen connections between generations. 4. Address conflicts promptly. Open communication and mediation can prevent minor issues from escalating. Chapter 23. Boundaries and bonds in caregiving. When family members take on caregiving roles, whether for elderly parents, ailing relatives, or children, it can strain boundaries and bonds if not handled carefully. Balancing caregiving with personal boundaries. 1. Set limits on availability. It's okay to define when and how you're available to help. 2. Ask for support. Involve other family members, hire professional caregivers, or seek community resources to share the load. 3. Prioritize self-care. Regularly recharge through hobbies, exercise, or time with friends to avoid burnout. Building bonds through caregiving. Caregiving can also deepen family bonds. It offers opportunities to 1. Share meaningful moments, such as reminiscing with an aging parent. 2. Teach younger generations about empathy and responsibility by involving them in caregiving tasks. Chapter 24. The role of spirituality and values in family dynamics. For many families, shared spiritual practices and values are a source of strength and unity. These elements can guide how boundaries are set and bonds are nurtured. How spirituality shapes boundaries. 1. Ethical guidelines. Spiritual teachings often emphasize principles like respect, kindness, and honesty, which can inform boundary setting. 2. Time commitments. Families with shared spiritual practices may set boundaries around attending services or participating in rituals. Strengthening bonds through shared values. 1. Rituals and practices. Engage in activities such as prayer, meditation, or attending services together. 2. Volunteer work. Participate in community service as a family to reinforce values of compassion and generosity. 3. Storytelling. Share stories of how your values have shaped family decisions or traditions over generations. Chapter 25. The impact of mental health on boundaries and bonds. Mental health plays a significant role in family dynamics, affecting how boundaries are set and bonds are maintained. Recognizing mental health challenges family members experiencing anxiety, depression, or other mental health issues may struggle with. 1. Setting boundaries due to fear of rejection. 2. Maintaining bonds due to feelings of isolation or low self-worth. Supporting mental health while respecting boundaries. 1. Encourage professional help. Normalize therapy or counseling as a tool for growth. 2. Practice patience and compassion. Avoid judgment and offer a listening ear. 3. Respect personal space. Allow family members to take time for themselves without feeling pressured to participate in every activity. Building bonds through support. 1. Educate yourself. Learn about their condition to better understand their experiences. 2. Create a safe space. Foster an environment where family members feel comfortable discussing their mental health. Chapter 26. Technology as a tool for boundaries and bonds. In the modern era, technology can either strengthen or weaken family relationships depending on how it's used. Using technology to reinforce boundaries. 1. Digital boundaries. Set expectations around responding to texts or calls. 1. Example. I don't check my phone after 8 p.m., but I'll get back to you in the morning. 2. Social media etiquette. Ask permission before sharing photos or stories involving family members. Using technology to build bonds. 1. Stay connected. Use video calls or group chats to keep in touch with distant relatives. 2. Family apps. Utilize shared calendars, meal planning apps, or collaborative tools to stay organized. 3. Shared media. Watch movies, play games, or listen to audiobooks together, even if you're physically apart. Chapter 27. Celebrating diversity in family dynamics. Every family is unique, shaped by its members' backgrounds, personalities, and experiences. Embracing diversity within your family can strengthen both boundaries and bonds. Acknowledging individual differences. 1. Celebrate each family member's unique strengths and perspectives. 2. Avoid stereotypes or assumptions based on age, gender, or role. Creating inclusive family traditions. Incorporate elements from different cultural or personal traditions to make everyone feel valued. For example, 1. Rotate holiday celebrations to include traditions from each family member's background. 2. Allow each person to contribute ideas for family activities or meals. Final reflection. A journey without end. The dance between boundaries and bonds is ongoing, evolving as families grow, change, and face life's challenges. What remains constant is the commitment to nurture love and respect within these relationships. Chapter 28. Boundaries and bonds in conflict resolution. Conflict is inevitable in families. Differences in opinions, misunderstandings, or unmet expectations can lead to tension. The key is not to avoid conflict but to manage it constructively while maintaining respect for boundaries and nurturing bonds. Understanding the roots of family conflicts. Conflicts often arise from 1. Unclear boundaries. When expectations aren't communicated, people may feel disrespected or misunderstood. 2. Unresolved past issues. Old grievances can resurface during new disagreements. 3. Personality clashes. Different communication styles, temperaments, or values can lead to misunderstandings. Steps to resolve family conflicts. 1. Acknowledge the issue. Avoid sweeping problems under the rug. 1. Name the conflict and agree to address it. 2. Listen actively. Practice empathy by truly hearing the other person's perspective without interrupting. 3. Stay calm. Emotions can escalate conflicts. 3. Take breaks if needed to maintain composure. 4. Focus on solutions. Instead of assigning blame, work collaboratively to find a resolution that respects everyone's needs. 5. Establish new boundaries. Use the conflict as an opportunity to clarify expectations moving forward. Using conflict to strengthen bonds. 1. Conflicts can deepen understanding if approached with curiosity rather than defensiveness. 2. Resolving disagreements builds trust, as family members see that their concerns are taken seriously. Chapter 29. Financial boundaries and bonds in families. Money is one of the most sensitive topics in family relationships. Differing financial habits, expectations, or values can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts. Establishing financial boundaries. 1. Clarify expectations. Discuss who is responsible for specific expenses, such as rent, utilities, or caregiving costs. 2. Say no without guilt. If asked for financial help that you can't or don't want to provide, set limits respectfully. 2. Example: I'd love to help, but I need to prioritize my own expenses right now. 3. Separate finances. In multi-generational households or joint living arrangements, keeping finances distinct can reduce conflicts. Building bonds through financial collaboration. 1. Budget together. Collaboratively planning family budgets fosters transparency and mutual understanding. 2. Celebrate financial milestones. Share achievements like paying off debt or saving for a family trip. 3. Teach financial literacy. Educating younger family members about money management strengthens their independence and prepares them for the future. Chapter 30. The impact of physical health on boundaries and bonds. Physical health can influence family dynamics, particularly when illness, aging, or disabilities are involved. Navigating boundaries in caregiving scenarios. 1. Define roles. Clearly outline who is responsible for specific caregiving tasks to avoid misunderstandings or burnout. 2. Balance help and independence. Provide assistance without undermining the autonomy of the person receiving care. Using health challenges to strengthen bonds. 1. Health challenges often unite families, fostering compassion and teamwork. 2. Sharing responsibilities can create opportunities for deeper connections and mutual support. Chapter 31. Boundaries and bonds in parenting styles. Different parenting philosophies can cause tension within families, especially between co-parents or between parents and extended family. Respecting parenting boundaries. 1. Co-parents. Align on key values and strategies while respecting each other's unique approaches. 2. Extended family. Politely assert boundaries if relatives overstep, such as offering unsolicited advice or undermining parental authority. Strengthening bonds through unified parenting. 1. Shared goals. Focus on common priorities, like raising confident, kind children. 2. Communicate frequently. Regular check-ins ensure consistency and foster collaboration. Chapter 32. The role of humor and play in family dynamics. Laughter and playfulness are often overlooked but powerful tools for maintaining healthy boundaries and building bonds. The science of laughter in families. 1. Laughter releases endorphins, reduces stress, and strengthens emotional connections. 2. Shared humor creates a sense of belonging and mutual understanding. Incorporating play into family life. 1. Game nights. Board games or trivia encourage teamwork and friendly competition. 2. Outdoor activities. Hiking, sports, or picnics promote collaboration and physical well-being. 3. Inside jokes. These can become a unique part of a family's identity, fostering closeness. Chapter 33. Boundaries and bonds in long-distance family relationships. Distance can challenge both boundaries and bonds, but it also offers opportunities for creativity and intentional connection. Maintaining boundaries with distant family members. 1. Schedule communication. Agree on times to call or video chat to respect each other's routines. 2. Avoid guilt trips. Understand that life's demands may limit how often you can visit or connect. Strengthening bonds across distance. 1. Send care packages. Personalized gifts show thoughtfulness and maintain a sense of closeness. 2. Share experiences virtually. Watch movies, play online games, or celebrate milestones together via video calls. 3. Plan visits. Look forward to in-person reunions, whether for holidays or casual get-togethers. Chapter 34. Teaching boundaries and bonds through storytelling. Stories, whether personal anecdotes or fictional tales, are a powerful way to teach lessons about respect, empathy, and connection. Sharing family stories. 1. Pass down stories about ancestors to help younger generations understand family values and traditions. 2. Share personal experiences to illustrate the importance of boundaries and bonds in real-life situations. Using fictional stories, books, and movies can be excellent conversation starters. For example, 1. Discuss characters' relationships and decisions to explore the concepts of boundaries and bonds. 2. Use parables or moral tales to convey lessons about respect and understanding. Chapter 35. Celebrating individual growth within the family. As family members grow and change, maintaining boundaries and bonds requires adaptability. Supporting personal growth. 1. Celebrate achievements like graduations, new jobs, or personal milestones. 2. Encourage exploration of interests and individuality while staying connected. Growing together. 1. Take up new hobbies or learn skills as a family, such as cooking, gardening, or volunteering. 2. Regularly reflect on how the family has evolved and find ways to strengthen ties. Final thoughts. The infinite potential of families. Boundaries and bonds are two sides of the same coin, each essential for cultivating relationships that are both respectful and meaningful. Families are living, evolving systems that require continuous care and intention. By investing time, energy, and love, you can create a legacy of connection and harmony that benefits not only the present but also generations to come. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture of a family united by mutual respect and unwavering bonds. Embrace the journey, cherish the people you hold dear, and continue building a foundation of love, one boundary and one bond at a time.